All right, so the 2025 CPT season is now close to the end. As of right now, 44 out of 48 spots have been filled. The remaining ones are 2 Japan qualifiers, Asia Southeast, and China. I've talked in the past about how the World Warrior system tends to kind of bury players and they get lost in the mix and no one can keep track of who's qualified because there's so many events happening all at once. And so today I want to spotlight a player you might have missed who qualified for Capcom Cup with a very unusual character choice. Also, if you like this video, please hit subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and let's get into it. Grand reveal. The player I want to talk about today is this guy. That guy right there. Raihan. Okay, maybe not this specific Raihan, but a different Raihan, because Raihan doesn't have any photos, as far as I can tell, on their Twitter account. So if you guys don't know, Raihan competes in the Asia South CPT region, which is made up of India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Nepal. And generally it's a region which doesn't get as much coverage or focus as a lot of the others. The reason that I'm bringing up Raihan is because Raihan has a very unique choice of character. Raihan won his regional finals using Elena, as you can see right there. Now that alone is very unusual for the current CPT season. As of right now, Raihan is the only Elena player that's qualified. It's still possible there could be a second if Dogura qualifies, but right now it's just Raihan. But it's not just that Raihan uses Elena. Raihan actually uses modern Elena, which is completely one of a kind. I legit have never seen a modern Elena player in ranked before. I think he's also the only modern player that's qualified for Capcom Cup this year. I've also been told by people from that region that Raihan played a ton of other characters throughout the season. Apparently used modern Marissa, modern Jamie, modern Lily, modern Jury, and modern Luke throughout the CPT season. So this guy is a modern specialist. So yeah, my curiosity was piqued. I had to take a closer look. The first thing I want to do is a quick rundown on modern Elena, and I actually had to educate myself a little bit on this one because I had no idea what Elena loses in modern. So we'll start off with that. So I looked it up, and as it turns out, Elena is actually surprisingly unrestricted by modern. So she loses 3 normals: stand light punch, stand heavy kick, and slide, which is down forward heavy kick. And all 3 of these normals do have uses, okay? Stand light punch is the longest range light that Elena has, which will still combo into light spin scythe. So sometimes you want to do that. Stand heavy kick is just a good poke in general to kind of bully people at like this distance. It's got a good hitbox and it can occasionally beat lows and stuff. A pretty good button. And the slide can be kind of like a high risk option to call out people not crouch blocking in the mid range. So yeah, these normals do have uses, but they are not a huge loss when it comes to Elena's overall game plan. I'd say stand heavy kick is probably the biggest loss that she has in modern, but it's manageable. It's manageable. And when it comes to special moves, modern Elena actually has literally every single special move, with the only exceptions that she doesn't have being the medium and heavy version of Moon Glider. Moon Glider is the sway, this thing. So she has light sway and she has EX sway, but she doesn't have medium and heavy. And again, I think the medium and heavy versions of sway do have uses, but you can live without them. Again, similar to the normals, it's not a huge loss to lose medium and heavy. And other than that, she has every single other special available in modern. I think Elena actually survives the modern moveset reduction surprisingly well, as it turns out. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen more people using modern Elena. So yeah, so that's the character, but what about the player? Well, pull up a chair, grab some popcorn, because it's movie night. We're going to be watching and reviewing the match that Raihan played in the World Warrior Grand Finals against Cyanic in order to qualify for Capcom Cup. Because I haven't actually seen this set yet.
Going on over here, but here we have Cyanic fighting.
That's with punish.
Grand finals over here with Raihan in the loser side.
Yeah,
Sweep
you know,
over
this is the
here.
yeah, and you know this is the
Appropriate
winner divided
matchup
off
too.
the bracket, of course, for
Elena
SI1
and
and
Akuma
Raihan going from
BFFs
the
forced to
losers.
fight it out for
SI would like
Capcom
to
Cup
be the
qualification.
footwork of this grand final.
Nice whiff
Too
punish.
easy to secure, but a beautiful crush. Yeah,
Yeah,
going
they're
into
making the
the corner.
besties fight.
Get out of the park over there.
I don't
Just,
like this.
Absolutely going to town with it. Oh, okay. Interruptions coming in from Raihan. Will he be able to fight his way out over here? Sionic though says.
Oh, doesn't spend the level 1? You're gonna be greedy? That's crazy.
Yeah, and a light kick.
I can't imagine being greedy in grand finals of your region to qualify for Capcom Cup. My ass is spending the level 1 there 100 out of 100 times.
Challenging status Raihan.
It worked out though.
And let's see a tick throw again. Yeah, a lot of pressure from the side.
I also kind of want to see, another thing I'm paying attention to, nice DP, is like how much of the modern like one button stuff is being used here. Because last time we did a modern player analysis, nice setup. That's a meaty, but I think he slightly mistimed it. Oh, he tried to reset into overhead? And then doesn't spend it? Oh my god, the greed. These guys are crazy. We hold on to our meter in Bangladesh. Alright, it worked out. What was I going to say? I just want to go back. There was something I noticed. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I just want to pay attention to like where the modern stuff is used, because last time we did like a modern player breakdown, I watched a lot of Hope's Aki, modern Aki player, and he actually didn't do that much modern stuff. Like, Hope mostly just plays Aki the same way that classic players do. So I'm curious to see if Raihan is using more of the modern kit than the last time we did one of these.
Getting in with the shenanigans, but fighting back, that is
yeah, Infectious also doesn't use many of the one-button specials. Yeah, he tried to reset into overhead there. Didn't work out, and it was a little bit scary after that.
We'll have to worry button, but chip a fair bit, just a bit out of reach over there. Sionic not quite.
Gets the round though.
That button, but the check from the standing light kick was there.
Because I figure like Elena's level 2 is probably good as a one-button special. You can punish projectiles and stuff on reaction. Nice DP. I say nice DP, it's one button, you know, that's the advantage of playing modern obviously, but...
Overhead again, from the looks of things. Oh, forward medium kick.
Oh, old man check. Gets away with the unk check. Nice, that crouch medium punch is so good. Oh, the meaty overhead again! Yeah, you gotta look out for that.
Yeah, man,
good stuff.
What a sequence, converting it into the level 3 and making it look so easy in the last 2 rounds. You know, when SI won the first round, I thought we are going with the script again.
Yeah, so a lot of Elena knockdowns set up for a meaty overhead here. Because a lot of people think that the only way Elena can combo off her overhead is if she does like the double roll, like the enhanced version of the overhead. But she actually has a lot of setups that use the unenhanced overhead like this. Hits meaty and then you can link into jab. She has a bunch of those setups. It's actually kind of scary.
Yeah, man, what a sequence, converting it into the level 3 and making it look so easy in the last 2 rounds.
Elena's biggest strength is the sheer number of people who are not familiar with the matchup. I think it depends on regions. Like here in EU, we've got a good number of decent Elena players, so I feel like it's easy to get practice. But maybe in this region, it's harder.
But yeah, once again, viewers recall that
nice whiff punish. Stam Fierce punish counter is a huge starter. Goes the bait with the sway. EXDP on wake up. Oh.
EXDP working out really well in his favor. But that DP whiff though, not really what the doctor ordered.
Yep.
Actually kind of crazy that like Elena has all of her like combo specials available in modern. It doesn't look like she has to make like any compromises when it comes to like hit confirm stuff. Damn. Drive rush overhead from up close. He's doing stuff.
He is saying, this is my fetch to win.
Nice whiff punish.
But you never know.
Heavy DP, yeah. No Oki, but it does good damage.
But you don't want to be toying around much at this point, really. Hey, Raihan,
yeah.
Maybe
this is such a good button. Like, I feel like as more time is passing, I think people are starting to realize Elena's Stam medium punch is absolutely cracked. This is maybe her best button, possibly tied with crouch medium punch. The target combo does still whiff on crouches, so you have to be a bit careful with it, but even taking that into account, this is such a good button. So many active frames.
Raihan maybe just looking to get as much momentum going as he can.
Nice. That's like a DJ trap.
The more chances he can actually, you know, go the distance over here, the less data he'll be giving to Psionic.
Nice whiff punish.
Back and forth just a bit, but eats that sweep
Dead.
from Raihan. Will this be another
Level 2? Is that enough?
round victory over here?
Okay, it was enough. I was a little bit scared there. He dumped the early level 2 in modern. I thought there was a chance that wasn't gonna
Will
kill.
this be a back and
He knows the damage range is better than me.
Actually, fewer rounds he drops to
What was gonna highlight? Oh yeah, this.
momentum going as he can.
Yeah, that's like a DJ spacing trap right there. You do a move that's safe on block, but like spaces out on the stand fierce, and then goes straight into sway. I think you can actually combo off this. I think if you don't go into the follow-up here, on the punish counter, I think you can link into like, probably stand light kick at this distance. Probably too far for stand medium kick. You can, in theory, link to stand medium kick, but it's so stubby, it's almost never worth going for. Or you can just go into the follow-up. This gives really good Oki. If I remember correctly, the follow-up here actually auto-times for the meaty overhead, I think. Anyway.
Oh. This looks uncharacteristically smooth. And like in the terms of this matchup over here, like Psionic.
Alright, so I think we're gonna see a character switch, I guess.
The Bison's here, but here I was thinking Psionic might be more of a Bison player. As
Oh my god, switching to Bison? This is an evil roster of characters.
Yeah, the switcharoos are there.
Started out with Akuma and switched to Bison. Let me see, if you switch to Mai after this, you are a true believer in the power of the dark side.
So let's see if Bison can does the trick for Psionic as we move into this third match. And immediately the pacing has slowed down tremendously as compared to the last matches. Because Bison, of course, would like to
I'm trying to remember from my experience when I was playing Elena. I do feel like Elena struggles a little bit against Bison. Kind of hard to compete with a lot of Bison's normals, and then this happens. You get cornered and then die.
He interrupts that.
Yeah, this is just Bison stuff.
Psionic with the perfect KO, making a statement to this character switch.
Absolutely. And of course, he has to make it count. This is the grand finals of the region. Capcom Cup.
Oh, huge whiff. Punish. Nice.
Yeah, and punished accordingly. And again now.
Raihan's doing a lot of baits. Like, he gets the knockdown and then just does, like, roll, nothing.
That drive rush scissors kick off.
Maybe he knows that, like, Psionic likes going for lots of wake-up supers. Nice whiff punish. Level 2.
Your opponent, but Raihan here gets the level 2 off. Trying to
I agree with that.
For the 3-0.
That was nice. I like that little interaction there. Sorry, I hate to keep pausing and unpausing. I actually like this interaction. This was kind of smart. So, he drive rushes in and then goes for a shimmy, right? And he sees that Psionic tap parried, but because he knows that he reacted a little bit late, the throw here probably isn't going to punish. Like, this is probably back to neutral. This is unlikely to be a punish counter throw. So he actually realizes that the throw is probably not guaranteed here, so he just blocks and gets, like, no counter hit. It would be very easy to push your luck here and try and go for a walk-up throw, but he realizes he was a little bit too slow off the mark and switches to a block. That was nice restraint.
Oh, gets interrupted. Is there going to be a super burnt there from the side of Psionic? Seems not. Oh, air-to-air reset. Oh, coming out. Psionic is in burnout though. We have to see how this shakes out.
Yeah, stand medium punches plus in burnout. We can't kill here. And the shimmy, wow.
There we go. The shimmy works out. Raihan not quite switching right now.
Yeah, a reset point for Raihan in this. And who would have expected such a quick reset of a 3-0 if he can?
Like the way he walks forward is really good too. Yeah, he's approaching
keeping him honest.
pretty nicely.
And yeah,
He's not like just throwing himself at his opponent,
again,
just kind of walking him to the corner.
yeah, making it a lot on his
But then
side.
sometimes Bison stuff happens and there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Maintain this pressure, it will be great for
Yeah,
him
I
to
agree
throw
actually.
medium kicks
I wonder what controller
And
Raihan plays on, because same situation here again.
life lead is there. Now he
The
can
walk block
maintain
here looks really nice. I wonder if this is a leveless player or controller or whatever.
but Raihan slowly
But he's doing a good job of just bulldogging, just walk up, block a lot.
Raihan does have some real estate and some resources to work with here, but they still do pale in comparison to Sionic's advantage.
Wow, checks the drive rush with stand medium kick? That's not easy to do.
Undeterred by the threat
Stand medium kick stubby as hell.
kick, but Sionic, though,
But unfortunately
will have
Bison stuff is
level
happening.
up here if he defend it, and that he will.
Yeah, finally making up a board.
That's a Bison match, they happen.
2-1. It was very much needed because Raihan was running away with that set.
That's what this character does. Bison just throws a hand grenade into the bracket.
Spent in the character.
Someone's going to emerge unscathed on the other side, but it's hard to say who.
Sionic in the corner, he has to win but one game to move on to the next part of the grand finals. For Sionic, though. Oh,
Okay, doesn't get baited into trying to anti-air the
does
Devil's
not
Reverse.
lead to a hit on either side.
nice whiff punish again. He's using that stand medium punch so well.
Yeah, punish counter from the side of Raihan. Beautiful
He's kind of playing like
spacing from
Phenom,
both
actually.
players, but,
I guess I'll highlight this. When it comes to the footsies, one of the things that a lot of really strong players do, players with really good footsies, is they will mirror your movements in order to maintain the exact right spacing for a whiff punish. So if you notice here, at about this spacing between both of them, look at the way that Raihan constantly adjusts forward and backwards to hold this exact gap so that he can be ready for a whiff punish if any button comes out.
counter from the side
So look, Cyanic walks forward, Raihan walks backwards.
Raihan.
Cyanic walks backwards, Raihan walks forwards. He's maintaining the exact precise spacing for the stand medium punch whiff punish. So that's really nice neutral strategy.
Beautiful spacing from both the players actually, but yeah, finally getting that whiff punished in. Now coming back to the neutral, life lead about even, I would say, but Yamita as well.
Yeah, Cyanic won the qualification spot last year.
Backward Soba kick option there, I think.
Possibly the year before, I can't remember.
Some kind of scissors kick option from the Bison. Right?
Heavy DP?
Man, what a
Nice.
check from Raihan. This is the second time I'm seeing in this set. This is paying dividends for him, but a scissor kick to counter again. No pressure for you, my man. But oh, beautiful check from the side of Raihan again. Now, the button timings of Raihan has been too good.
Yeah.
Year before he had visa issues? Yeah, I think in general players from this region
Again in the corner has the
have had
bomb
problems
all
with
in,
visas.
But no big conversion off of the bomb itself.
Kind of the same thing happens with a lot of the Pakistani players.
Reset
The
attack
Tekken players
Raihan.
also have lots of visa issues for international stuff, unfortunately.
Still at reset point.
But Pakistan's not in this CPT region, I think. I think Pakistan is actually in,
Things go well.
I want to say Middle East?
Lots of lows.
Question mark? I'm not sure about that.
Looks at things. Oh, jump in. Works out for him. Raihan has to land a few more guesses for it to work out for him. Here.
Yeah, Middle East, okay.
Scissors kick was at a punishable range. That was -5, I believe.
Okay, that's not too bad. You got hit by the wake up level 3, but that's not the end of the world. You just got to be a little bit careful here that you don't get burned out.
Very brutally over there, and now finally getting some space to work with. This standing light kick.
A light bomb. Nice. Very nice.
Punish counter. This is gonna be a reset of the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen,
That was sick.
do not get any
Modern Super. I mean, you can interrupt this.
that Raihan has
The
been
crouch medium kick to bomb
dividends for him,
set.
but
You
again,
can interrupt this even with Classic, obviously. But it's much easier to do if you can just hold down back and press 2 buttons together. It is down back you can press, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Modern players, if you hold down back and press heavy plus special, you get level 3, right? Yeah, okay.
Oh, and with a punish counter.
I'm glad that I did that stream a while back playing Modern Chun-Li, because I feel like I'm better able to actually, like, talk about the specific intricacies of, like, certain things being easier in Modern. It's not just a case of, like, I know that Modern is easy. I now have a better idea of, like, what buttons you are actually pressing to make stuff happen.
Grand finale. A reset nonetheless, and we will be going towards FIFA again.
Alright, so that's a bracket reset, because I think Raihan started in the loser's side.
You know, grand final reset, ladies and gentlemen.
Cyanic stays on
2025
Bison.
for Asia South. Here we go.
Right, drive rush punish. No. Over here we had straight over there.
Oh, nice punish. Actually, I guess that's the thing that I hadn't considered for this matchup. So, Bison Scissors is -5, and Elena's stand light kick is actually pretty damn solid for a 5-frame normal. So, that is a legit punish if they misspace it with pretty good range. Oh, that's so unfortunate. This is a kind of slight issue I've noticed with some Modern players, which is that because Modern DP is on one button, their crosscut timings are a little bit off because they're just pressing the anti-air DP motion. Like, I think it's forward plus special, I think. But it means they press their anti-air a couple of frames too early for it to autocorrect, and this happens. You can get DPs whiffing like that in Classic as well, but I see it more often with Modern players because they're pressing a little bit too early. You want to delay that DP as much as possible.
Depends what you have condition your opponent with. Over here, right hand though at a drive gauge disadvantage. Ionic pressuring further with that. The bomb has been planted.
Yeah, and just like that, you know, a shimmy attempt and a walk back overhead.
Bison stuff.
First round. And first round goes to Ionic. A very hard-fought round, I might add. But again, these button timings from Raihan catching Ionic neutral. Again with the shimmy. The
nice setup.
Of Raihan is just too
I like how confident Raihan's playing as well.
Guessing correctly every time the overhead lands.
He just looks like he's relaxed. He's playing like just like an ordinary match of Street Fighter. I don't get the impression that like Capcom Cup qualification nerves are kicking in here. He's just doing solid Elena stuff, you know? Dead. I'm not seeing any signs of nervousness, really.
I mean, the standing light kick from Raihan has been just too good. They are paying dividends right now, as I've already reiterated. And yeah, one round apiece in this grand final reset. Can Raihan make the magic happen?
Wish he did more Modern stuff. I mean, to be honest, I like that he's kind of just outplaying right now. Like, I would say like 90% of the times Raihan wins neutral, it's just whiff punishing with stand medium punch. Like, that's footsies, I'm sorry. It is fun, I guess, to see the one-button supers and stuff, but I'm kind of liking how clean this is.
Right, at a corner, facing disadvantage as well. He has to fight away, but he's slowly doing it very beautifully. Walking and closing, baiting out, not biting in that. And let's see if Raihan can actually push him.
Again, see?
Again, beautiful punish counter. Oh my god, this is just too good from the side of
99% of his combo starters have been the same thing. It's just hold the spacing and wait for Cyanic to make a mistake, and then whiff punish with stand medium punch. Like, this is just footsies. You got out-nooched. Classic style. Is that enough to kill? Level 2? Yes? Maybe just barely? Nice.
He is taking lead in this grand final reset.
He is officially in the lead.
That's just every Elena match. Some of the Elena players that I've played in EU are... God damn, look. Every single combo is just hold the spacing, wait for a whiff, and then punish counter stand medium punch. This is just pure footsies, folks. Pure footsies.
Let me tell you that.
Absolutely.
He is in Ionic's head right now.
Yeah, there is a lot of people playing Elena in EU in a much more, should we say, Street Fighter 4 Elena style, he said diplomatically.
Yeah, I'm patiently waiting
They're not all playing
You
footsies.
know, plus frames were there. Again with the standing light kick, the fishing over there. I mean, it's just too good. I think there's something that he has pointed.
With
He got
punish
the
again,
cover,
it's
but
just
not
punish
the conversion. This
counter.
time he gets the conversion. And
I'm
this is
sorry,
gonna
Sonic, but you're
win
getting
the
out
first
nooched.
round. Again goes to Rehan. I mean, he is just on a level right now.
What is going on? This is not the script that we have been, you know, like at the mercy
Overhead,
of for so long.
throw
Is
afterwards.
the last boss gonna
I like
actually
also
win?
that Raihan hasn't
Is
fallen for
gonna
any of the
actually-
baits.
Is the last
Cyanic has tried quite a few times to do,
mercy of for so long?
he does like the early head stomp to try and bait out like a DP or something. I don't think it's worked a single time yet.
Is the last boss gonna actually win? Is he not
That's annoying though.
for so long?
This is
Is the
pissing me
last
off. I'm getting
boss gonna
flashbacks
actually
right now
win?
to my own CPT matches. Drive rush scissors baits the intercept with stand medium kick and gets a punish counter. Doesn't get the pickup off it, but man.
Words are all jumbled
Drive
up.
rush
I am
scissors.
not-
Getting
I was not
PTSD. God damn, that's a
expecting
nice
this, I
whiff
have to
punish.
be honest. Raihan. absolutely
Raihan is
seems to be
channeling
the-
some, yeah, he's channeling in some different level of Street Fighter right now in him.
Nice.
And
I guess
again,
one
the
thing also
frame,
that's worth
he
mentioning
has
is that
really
generally
no
speaking,
headball.
I don't advise going into burnout in that situation, but I think it's actually okay to be more risk averse. No, not risk averse. I think it's generally okay to take more risks in this situation when you're playing modern, because modern players don't really have to give a shit about burnout. I'm just going to be real. Like, one of the biggest upsides of being a modern player is that you can kind of let yourself get put into burnout if you've got a lot of super gauge, and then just let the one button super make you basically immune to getting stunned ever. So I think it's okay to put yourself into burnout in this position, especially if you're a modern player.
Well, 2 games up against Sionic in a grand
Elena's level 1 is not invulnerable, but I think as long as you have like
game
2.5
of the
bars,
Capcom Cup, ladies and
it's
gentlemen,
okay.
As Sionic goes to the drawing board, Akuma resort to.
Switch to really come back. Raihan. all
Another character
past
switch?
Failures, all past
I don't know about
things
this.
will
So I think, if I remember rightly, I think Chun-Li is actually Cyanic's main. I think. But I'm questioning why the Chun-Li was held in reserve for so long, because this kind of... See, I'm not sure how I feel about this switch, because if you haven't used Chun-Li for like 7 games straight, you're kind of telling your opponent through subtext that you don't particularly like the Chun-Li Elena matchup if you've held it off in reserve for this long. So, I don't know, that kind of feels like a move that's not being motivated by confidence. If you switch to your main this late into the set, it's kind of just like a, I've run out of ideas, let me try something else kind of situation.
be forgiven or overlooked or
He didn't use her for the whole tourney? Huh.
Let's go.
Right.
Raihan versus Sionic.
Weird.
Sionic back to his classic pick. Character that won him so many times this whole region.
Yeah, you have to, you're 2-0 down here, you have to make the full 3-2 comeback.
Now fighting back. Now.
Nice punish.
Anti-projectile actually lands.
Actually, I guess you could argue this is actually a modern thing, because
Overhead was blocked. Raihan now fighting back.
yeah, this is actually probably a thing that benefits from modern, because using Elena's EX roll to punish fireballs, especially slow fireballs like this, is actually really fucking hard. Because this thing is not projectile invincible until like frame 6, I want to say. So it's actually almost impossible to do this on reaction, but I think with modern, this becomes a lot more viable. Maybe this, yeah, was this move designed for modern all along?
Now.
That would be extremely hard to do on classic,
Actually lands.
other than just a guess.
Actually goes past the parry attempt right over here. Sionic is in the corner. Broken works over there.
Nice overhead.
Overhead lands. Raihan is actually
Level
in the
1.
driver's seat. All well and good. Sionic
I think you can actually do light,
here, instant lightning legs
what's it called?
get answered over
I think you can actually do light Rhino Horn into light DP here
Sionic
on that high juggle,
might
but
be able to fight back. The air instant
It's
lightning
fine.
legs does get answered over there. Ooh, no answer. I mean, it does get blocked, but Raihan does actually win that interaction over there.
yeah, there was better Oki available, but it's fine.
Sionic, what is going on here?
It's
Raihan
fine.
stands but one round away.
Cyanic's looking a little bit lost.
Victory over here. He seems to have downloaded Sionic all the way. this way.
Absolutely.
No whiff punish on the forward heavy kick. Ionic now has Raihan in the corner. It is his turn to actually run offense on Raihan. Raihan showing lots of patience. All right. Very good delayed option there by Ionic.
Getting kind of bullied in the corner, but
You can cut the
anything's
tension
possible. Okay,
in the
low
air.
forward drive rush to the rescue.
Ionic will be seizing that round, refusing to go down without a fight.
Yeah, but he's still in a position where, you know, it can be very, very critical for him, though he has one round, but it's actually Onyx set to win right
That's
now.
that medium punch is so good.
Beautiful spacing.
People need to start putting some respect on Elena's
One
name.
timing. He is going all ham.
Wake up level 3.
From the side. Yep, much
I think if you're right hand, that's fine. And you, like, it puts you in a slightly sketchy spot, but it also tells you that your opponent is basically just like panicking and trying to like make anything happen.
Sliver of drive gauge.
So sometimes when I get hit by wake up level 3s, I'm just like, okay, they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. So even if it hits me, I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
Going to his favor.
You've rattled them,
He
you
does
know.
have a slight health deficit, though.
Nice punish.
Ionic able to get the punish over there.
Plus frames.
Will he be able to get anything more? The interrupt was there. The counter hit. It gets interrupted. The GRC cancels.
He's just holding that corner spacing. Oh,
The delayed
okay.
button was there. Ionic is fighting back.
oh, the reset into overhead wasn't necessary. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Right there.
Yeah, he is in a very.
I've been there. We've all been there.
Let's
Oh,
hope
but
that,
mutual burnout. Okay, that
can
benefits
make it happen. Raihan
modern
is
player
getting
for
close
sure.
towards that final spiral.
Oh, you could have level 3'd off that.
Will it go all the way? Let's see. Oh my
Gets
God,
back
it's
thrown.
another
Okay,
like-
little bit of slop at the end there, I think, for both sides.
Interrupt. The delayed button.
I think we've all experienced this before, where you're like, you're so focused. You're so focused on like, okay, I'm gonna go for the overhead reset as my big final gambit, that you don't even notice that you actually got the game-winning hit. Like, you haven't even considered the possibility that your normal is actually gonna just hit the opponent. You're already like so focused on the reset into overhead that you haven't noticed that you just won the game already. I think everyone's made that mistake a bunch of times. I think also off this stand medium punch, the air hit here, probably can just like juggle straight into super or DP or something, but it's hard to be ready for it in the heat at the moment.
What's going on over
He
here?
had 2 whiff punish attempts that he could have done to actually take the whole set and the tournament right there. Not to mention the championship. But it was a victory on the
Punish, nice.
Earlier for Ionic. Let's see if Raihan can keep the download going. A new page of the download.
Look at that, that's great. I just want to highlight again the walking to the corner.
There, a new page earlier for
Look at the way that Raihan just bullies him to the corner from round start, right? They're in the middle of the screen. Walk up, walk up, walk up, block, walk up, block, walk up, block. He's just slowly working Ionic down to the corner. Keeps the spacing, punishes the Hail Mary, keeps the spacing. He's just walking down to the corner and gets away with the jump in at the end. But yeah, I really like the way he's just like slowly walking his opponents to the corner.
A new page of the download, so to speak. Raihan once again lands that stuff over there. Ionic.
Nice. Jump back air to air on the flip. Rarely seen.
Yeah, I can completely understand right now because even I am out of words at times. The way these guys are playing it.
Yeah, the scariest players in Street Fighter are the ones who can make themselves terrifying purely just by walking forward and then occasionally walking backwards.
Making all the necessary adjustments that were required.
Anti-air combo coming in from Ionic.
Yeah, drive rush overhead moment. That's dead.
To let this go right here, right now. Okay, Ionic fighting his way back now. Looking to equalize.
It's where Elena has Bison's hell attack, but no one uses it. Her jump air-to-air target combo is actually really underrated. I was messing around with that when I was playing her.
That pertains to South Asia.
It's not as good as hell attack, but it's definitely underused, I think.
It was but a beautiful counter hit over there, but a escape from the side of Ionic.
The anti-throw option from the instant air legs works out beautifully for
There it is. Okay, that's the first probably big modern moment we've had in neutral.
Yep. You cannot beat that. And again now taking into
Didn't
the
do that
ball,
much
the
damage
play
because of the
with
modern
the
scaling, but
button. No button over there. Great defense on the
nice.
side of Psionic, but as I speak
The
about,
DJ mix
he
is
opens
back.
up, but unfortunately was not able to convert that.
I'd like to see Psionic dealing with light into DRC a little bit more, because I've noticed from my perspective that one of the things that Raihan's doing a lot is he does stand light kick DRC at the end of pressure strings, and that's actually fake.
And he will. Oh my god, he is
You can
on the
interrupt that.
tournament point right now. Raihan with just one round away from taking all the regional finals to himself.
He is not too behind on the super meter either. The
Level 2 is back. The one button super is locked and loaded.
The stance options coming in. The perfect parry is from this close range.
Yeah, there it is. Just as I said it. Just as I mentioned it, look, the stand light kick DRC gets interrupted.
Range.
A lot of Elena players try and get away with that. They like doing lights into DRC to try and extend pressure.
Will he be spending that level 3? No, he won't. Raihan at a drive gauge advantage, but Psionic with the health advantage. Tries to go for some sort of overhead reset attempt over there.
Man, he loves that overhead reset with Chun.
There is from the side of Psionic in this round. 60 seconds left and he still hasn't
Punish? Oh,
a single hit.
I think you can get a bigger punish than that. He's punishing the stance slide with jab, but I feel like you should be able to punish that with a medium, right? Wait, what is that on block?
But SI just not opening up at all any gates for
I need to double check the numbers on that.
Ooh, is this a download complete by Psionic? We'll have to see. The fireball finds its
With
mark.
punish, critical art, I agree, 1000%. You always CA there. Not for the damage, but because it's going to leave him close to burnout.
Have Psionic down to less than a bar of drive gauge right now. But
Raw DI?
DI lands and this is gonna be
Wow.
very critical because
Okay, he was gaming there for a second. That was crazy. If he actually got it. He actually got the Giga Brain play here, and then unfortunately didn't finish it. So he does. That was almost a Giga Brain play. So he does the reset, and a lot of the time, like 99% of the time here, when someone goes for a reset in this situation, because there's no way the combo kills from this position, almost everyone is going to go for an overhead reset. He extends it into a low because he knows the overhead is what 99% of people will do, and it actually worked. It's almost like he wasn't ready for his own mind game. Drops the link into stand medium kick. If that had gone through, that would have been genius.
Very critical because he has a level 3, he gets a medium kick conversion.
Even Raihan didn't believe in the Giga Brain play.
We are going to the final stretch, final game of the grand final reset. This is gonna be
Overhead.
Psionic versus Raihan. Let's go.
ooh, the throw gets checked. Raihan and Psionic playing their
Nice
hearts
counter hit
out
confirmed.
over
Link
here.
into stand light
The
kick.
last game of the last set of this tournament.
I'm sort of feeling like Psionic should have been playing Chun from the beginning,
Pressuring
given that he's instantly won 2 games.
Psionic not quite doing so many EXDPs on wake up right
Should have been
now.
playing Chun from game 1, dude.
Are not there. The perfect parry attempt seems to have been there, but unsuccessful. Psionic fighting back to the mid screen. The jump in lands this time. The past few attempts were but blocked or parried.
Oh, that's dead.
My God, what a call out of the EXCP. Seeks the desperation. He is again
Went to last
on
game,
the
huh?
point against Psionic. This is huge for Raihan. This is gonna be his round to lose now.
Yeah, stand like kick DRC
So
again.
far, but here we have the DRC grab.
Lacking a bit of adaptation here. Huge jump in.
And the jump in lands once again. Will he? Oh.
He's pressing so many buttons.
He's all over.
I can feel the hunger to close this out. Oh my god, double overhead reset.
Kind of offense, the pokes that has
You're in the corner in burnout, but you've got the one button super. Oh, huge punish on the jump.
Psionic right now. He can really chip him out. A lot of damage in this.
Psionic basically just can't go for a DI in this situation. What the heck? They're both dropping. Okay.
Final game, final
This went to
round,
final game, final round.
Psionic
Holy.
versus Raihan for the Capcom Cup spot. This does not get any better than this.
Double Luigi. You jump again. I would not spend any super here. Yeah, set up the high-low. Just go for a throw.
Doesn't seem to be it. Psionic
both with the
has
three
not
bars
been
right now.
anti-airing
I would,
quite as often.
if in this situation, I would just DI. She's just sitting there in stance. You could also just jump. There are options here for Chun to beat both DI and jump, but I feel like putting yourself in stance in the corner in this situation is very risky. So yeah, she can, if you jump, she can anti-air with the launcher, and she can also technically punish the DI, but okay. I would have just yeeted the DI here if she's just sitting in stance, but it probably isn't the smartest play in the world.
Psionic
both with the
has
three
not
bars
been
right now.
anti-airing quite as often. The whiff punish on the sweep, the slide was not there.
Yeah, that was very risky, but a punish counter. Oh, beautiful spacing from.
Corner
side of
lockdown.
Raihan, maintaining the
One
corner.
more hit into
Raihan is locked
DRC
in
will
right
end
now,
it.
and
Level
he
2 comes
finally
out.
gets the hit.
I'm not sure about that level 2 because it doesn't give any drive recovery. It doesn't do much damage.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What a backdash over there.
Okay.
Could be achieved.
Huge whiff punish, and is that dead? It's gonna be basically dead regardless, whatever happens afterwards.
Find out.
I think this is gonna be it.
Pixel,
No.
One pixel away.
Bates level 1.
And the
Nice.
gonna be huge, and Raihan takes it.
Good stuff. Yeah, I mean the level 2 here from Chun, like you could argue it gives good corner carry and good Oki, but I feel like in this situation, leaving yourself stuck at less than 1 bar of drive is just too risky. I feel like you either don't do any super here or you level 3, because now he's in an awkward spot with the drive recovery, and then this happens. But yeah. Cool, that was a good set. I was really impressed with Raihan's whiff punishes. I would say like 98% of the hits he landed throughout the entire set were just whiff punishes with stand medium punch. Very fundamentally solid, nice neutral dance, you know? So there's your Capcom Cup qualified modern Elena. I'm looking forward to seeing Raihan in Capcom Cup. And as those words left my mouth, I just remembered Capcom Cup is pay-per-view this year. And now I feel like an idiot. Actually, I guess I can watch the group stages. Enough people have already made videos about Capcom Cup being pay-per-view. I don't think it's a good idea. I will not be paying for it myself. But good luck to Raihan. Anyway, I will see you guys all in the next video.